Hey, what's going on, guys? This is going to be my Imperialdramon BT16 deck profile. Not many new cards in this deck, just a couple. So let's start with the Tamas. We are playing 4 Digimon. If it has jamming, draw a card. I know a lot of people, for some reason, are playing the 1000 DP Digimon. I don't know why. I just really like drawing cards, and you draw a lot with this deck. There'll be some games where I have like 15 cards in my hand, and you just have every card that you need to see. So still a very good card. Next, we're going over our level 3s. We're going to start with 4 of the promo Vmon. Hopefully these are a little bit easier to get once the gift boxes come out, because this card is very well needed. To start with your turn, once per turn, it can Digivolve for 1 less into like a free Digimon, so that's very helpful. And then when attacking, draw a card if it has 2 colors. That's not once per turn. So like I said, we're drawing a lot in this deck, because you can attack with the EX Vmon, draw, or not with that effect, but draw off the Demi Vmon, DNA, etc., etc. You see where I'm going with this. So 4 of those. Next, we're playing 4 BT12 Vmon. Reveal 3. You get to add a Digimon with Imperialdramon or free, or a tamer with Davis in its name. And then end of turn, this Digimon may DNA Digivolve. So all these cards are really good because we play the new Davis and Ken, where you get to play these at the start of your main phase. So we're getting our on reveals. And the end of turn DNA really helped me tonight, so still a very good card. Next, on the opposite end, we're playing our Wormmons now. Playing 4 BT12 Wormmons. Same exact effect as the Vmon, except for you can add a card with Kin. Okay, sure. The one pre-release. So same exact effect as the Vmon. Next, we're playing 2 of the new BT16 Wormmon. When attacking, you can suspend an opponent's Digimon, which comes up because a lot of your level 5s and level 6s do unsuspend. So, and we do have cards with piercing, so this can come up sometimes. The more important effect here is the on play or start of your main phase, you can Digivolve one of your Digimon from the trash for 1 less. I did accidentally misplay with this once tonight. I forgot it was from trash and thought it was from my hand for some reason, because I'm a moron. The worst part about this is, I guess worst part, if you want to Digivolve in your raising area, it is going to cost you 1, because we're playing Demi Vmons and not Minomons, which can be bad sometimes unless you want to choke your opponent to 1. So other than that, this card's actually really good for this deck. So next, we're going on to our level 4s. This is probably the most flexible level in this deck that you can play. I play 3 EX X Vmons. Still very good card. Jamming, inheritable jamming. I mean, there's not much more to say about this card. I mean, it's just being able to swing with your level 5s with jamming is just very good. So next, we're playing 3 BT12 X Vmon. Gaining the memory and inheritable jamming when DNAing. So again, I mean, what's more to say? Next, these ones can probably switch around. I might cut this one down to 2 for a 4th BT12 Stingmon, just because we already draw enough as it is. The reason why I play 3 and 3 of each is because there are some instances where you still want to hard play this for 3, and you just won't have the memory. But most of the time, there were enough instances where I had 2 Digimon because of the new Davis and Ken, where I would just Digivolve into this for 2, so it kind of made having this effect, pointless. Again, it's when attacking. If it's 2 cards, 2 color card, whatever, draws a card. Yeah, whatever. You get a draw. It's not once per turn, so drawing a lot of cards. This was the one I'd probably bump up to 4, because like I said, there were just enough instances where I would Digivolve into the Stingmons for 2. So the reduction on play didn't really matter. This one's inheritable is a little bit different. It has piercing. Again, as the other XVmon, you gain a memory when DNAing. So really good card. Next, onto our level 5s, we're playing 3 of Sean's favorites, Imperialdramon. This ruined a mini format for him. When Digivolving, when DNA Digivolving, suspend a Digimon bottom deck with 6,000 DP or less, whatever. We all know what this card does. It dominated an entire format. When attacking once per turn, unsuspend this Digimon. This with jamming is just multiple free checks, especially if you have the XVmon. I think there was one game tonight against Caleb, where I think I got all of his security in one turn because of this card and the XVmon and just all the shenanigans you can do. So, really good card. Next, we're playing 4 of the new BT16 Imperialdramon. I kind of thought this card was a little bit underrated when I first read it, but I actually seem to like this a lot more than this Imperialdramon. It kind of has the same thing where you're still unsuspending, you're just not bottom decking, but being able to suspend your opponent's entire board and then not able to unsuspend is just very good, especially when DNA digivolving. And then once per turn, you can suspend another Digimon, and if you don't, you get to unsuspend. So that's where you're getting your second check. Probably the second most important part, though, is both the partition as its base effect and its inheritable. Being able to play out 2 more bodies if it dies by an effect, not by battle, Chris. You get 2 more free bodies, and then you just go into it again. So very good card. I underrated this card when I first read it. After playing it, though, I really enjoyed this card. Next, we're going up into our level 6s. We're not playing too many because they're not like the main focus of the deck, but they're just like good cards in general. New BT16 Imperialdramon Dragon mode. Pretty good card. I like this a little bit more than the other one that we were playing. Just the ability to suspend stuff and keep stuff suspended. Like this won me a game against Red Hybrid because I suspended his Takuya and it couldn't unsuspend. I never actually got to get off the all turns if they played a card by effect Digivolution. Feels bad because that's just like a pop off at that point, but it just never happened for me tonight. But this did win me a couple games tonight. Speaking of another card that won me a couple games tonight, the new Fighter Mode Ace. Very good card. Being able to blast Evo. Yeah, I know I only have one on poor. I'm sorry.
I didn't know which one was the alt-art, so I had to move it.
Yeah, this one right here. That's why I put it on top.
Fair.
So being able to blast Evo, suspend stuff, and bottom deck stuff, because a lot of times because you're DNAing, you're going to have more sources than your opponent. So this bottom deck's almost always going to happen. End of attack once per turn. You can also, if you have Dragon mode, you can bottom deck stuff again and unsuspend it. So multiple free checks, and a lot of the times your stacks are going to have jamming, so these most of the time won't die to security checks unless it's like an option card or something like that. So really good card, and I think I actually got my opponents once or twice with this from my hand, Blast Evo, just because it's the first week of this set, so they just forgot this was a card.
Yep.
The Imperialdramon Fighter Ace BT12 Fighter mode, I'm sorry. Very good card. I actually never got the chance to use it tonight. There were a couple chances, but on a lot of instances, this just came up more because I was doing it from my hand or like during my opponent's turn. But there were plenty of instances where I could have gone into this. I just didn't need to because I had either won the game by then or they're just a better play. So I really enjoyed this card. I still think 1 is fine. So good card. Next, we're playing 4 of the new Davis and Ken. I was also kind of low on a lot of these dual tamers until like I actually started playing with it. Just being able to start your turn off and play a Vmon or a Wormmon from your hand is just absolutely nutty. And then I messed up on this second effect a couple of times because of the way it's worded and the way my brain works. Where I was never really trashing sources because I wouldn't do it on the DNA part. I would do it on like a regular Digivolution just to make it cheaper. Mm-hmm. But I don't think it really mattered too much of the time because when I did do it, most of the time I was just winning off of it. So very good card. I think it's obviously the best out of all the dual tamers from this set because it just has the best support. Next, we're still playing 2 Davises because who doesn't love a +2? Like, there was never an instance tonight where I wasn't adding 2 cards off this card. The fact that this came out on BT3 is crazy because we just don't see cards like this anymore. Next, we're playing 2 of the new BT16 Imperial, how do you pronounce it? Invincible Dragon Insect Fusion. Okay, that's a really weird, dumb name. I actually thought that this was like an okay card, but this card actually won me so many games tonight because I would just Digivolve into it and then play this, gain a bunch of memory. It would be impervious to battle and then have blocker, and then you could just pop off from there. Very good card. It never got hit out of security. I thought about bumping this up to 3. I just don't know what I would cut just because of how often I just played this card and it came up. Yeah, just a really weird, cool card that just kind of neat. Next, we're playing removal because we have to in this format. 2 Mega Deaths. Unfortunately, our removal is kind of okay. We all know what this card does. Suspend one of your opponent's Digimon and then return suspended Digimon to your opponent's hand. Its security effect's the same. It's okay. I mean, I don't think I ever really had to use it tonight, except for against Ben after I had already messed up a million times. So, still a really good card. And then I'm playing 1 Mega or Giga Death. Just being able to, because of this card right here.
Oh, the Imperialdramon.
This is a board wipe because you DNA into this for free. Suspend all your opponent's Digimon, and then you activate Giga Death, and it's just board wipes.
That's pretty filthy.
So it is pretty filthy. I mean, yeah, it's not memory, but your opponent has so much they have to come back from. So still a very good card, unless your opponent digivolved into Rapidmon that turn. So you know that's cool. And then the last most fair and balanced card, HPD. I don't need to explain this card. If you need this card explained, just read it. I get a Digivolve for 5 less, but just by suspending a Digimon, and I DNA, so it comes out unsuspended. So very fair and balanced card. Still very fun deck. If you open up really well and properly, like you're clearing your opponent's security. Unless you play against Ben in your the feature match, and then you forget how all your cards work, and then you just play bad. And then you beg Sean not to upload it. So don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, guys. And that's it.